Hey, this is Teddy Burriss, your LinkedIn strategist and trainer. The conversation I want to share with you today is about different styles of what most people call one-on-one networking. Now, I'm not a fan of the phrase one-on-one, even though I use it a lot. I like to remind myself that it's human to human. It's two people having a conversation. And if you have a mindset that is two people having a conversation, then your conversation is going to be a little bit different, maybe a little richer, maybe a little more intimate, professionally intimate. Two people really getting to know each other as people, not one-on-one or not, business person to business person, but two human beings. It's a mindset that takes time to master or at least get good at it. So for me, there's really 3 steps to human networking. Step number 1 is that first connection. And that often happens because you go to a group networking event, you go to a group virtual networking event, or maybe you get someone is told you need to reach out and say hello to you, or maybe someone is referred to you. But it really is that first conversation in a single human-to-human interaction versus a group interaction. For me, this is really important for me to make that first one-on-one conversation with that person about them as much as I can. Because the more I make that conversation about them to begin with, the more I know that they're going to move the conversation, pivot the conversation to about me. And I want them to get to know me as a human just as much as I get to know them as a human before I pull them or push them or they pull or push me into the business conversation. Because when you get to know that other person as a person, the relationship is richer and the business opportunities or the business conversations become easier and often, again, richer. Now, along the way, the second style of two people having a conversation, human to human or one-on-one, is when we reconnect. And I've been doing this a lot lately because we're in this, the pandemic of 2020. And so I'm having a lot more time at home and I have a lot more opportunity for me to pay attention to what's going on with the people in my life, particularly the people who are highly relevant to me. So I watch the conversations on LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter, et cetera, and when appropriate and relevant, I'll reach out to someone I haven't talked to in quite some time and just simply say hello. Find out what's going on with them, how are they dealing with this pandemic, how are they dealing with anything that's going on in their lives, and rejuvenate that relationship, reconnect with them in some meaningful way. Now, I do this a lot with people who I know have the ability to introduce me to others, but I make sure that I'm very sincere about this reconnect conversation. So I can get to know who they are again. They can get to know who I am again, knowing that often there are changes that have gone on in our lives, our careers, and our businesses. And during this reconnect phase, we often find an opportunity to move into business or move into conversations about how we can help each other. But never, ever start these conversations with the initial goal of moving in, I need your help in business. Never disregard the importance of reconnecting as a human. Now, this third style of human-to-human networking is really important as well. And this is where I am very purposefully reaching out to people in my network, knowing that I want to get to the point where I ask them for an introduction or a business conversation. But before I move into that request, I make sure that I reconnect with them as a person. Get to know what's going on with them. Share with them what's going on with me. Try to rejuvenate that relationship in some meaningful way so that, again, it becomes easier to move into the business conversation. I do this quite often. I get into a conversation with somebody who I know I can help or who can help me. and we rejuvenate that relationship in some meaningful way relatively quickly. And then I say, here's the help I want today, and I want to know if you can help me. I don't say I need you to help me. I ask, would they be willing to help me? Often, it's about an introduction. I don't want referrals. I want introductions. That is much richer than a referral. Typically, a referral is an email that says, hey, you need to talk to Teddy Burriss. He can help your business. Whereas an introduction is, hey, I know Teddy Burriss is a personal friend of mine, a professional friend of mine. He does the kind of work that I think you need to have. And I really believe the two of you should get into a conversation. And also those messages I'm copied on. So when I get into this conversation with someone looking for an introduction, I make sure I rejuvenate the relationship. Then I get into a conversation about what I would like their help with. And then I move into conversations about how could I help them. This networking style of moving away from group meetings and group networking, BNIs and chambers, et cetera, into one-on-one human conversations to where we can connect in a meaningful way, reconnect in a meaningful way, and then look for ways to help each other in meaningful ways has been very, very rewarding for me. Mutually, for me to help others and others to help me. I really encourage you to think about this style of connecting, reconnecting, and then looking for ways to help each other. I'm Teddy Burriss, a LinkedIn strategist and trainer, and I hope you can take this style of networking and use it to help you and your network.